We are live. We are live, live, live. Let's do it, friends. Let's answer our anonymous questions. Let me grab my tea because there's going to be a lot. If you are just joining, you'll see that we are doing like a new series or a new idea that I had was that you guys will ask a lot of questions. I love it. I love all the questions. I've noticed that when I do my one-on-one calls or when I do my support group calls, the questions I get are very, very intimate, are very, very heartfelt, are very, very, they're real. They're real questions. And I want you guys to be able to ask those questions. I want you to be able to get the support that you need when it comes to living with herpes, when it comes to being diagnosed with herpes. You can book a one-on-one call with me. That is expensive. I do have a lot of credentials and I've been doing this for a long time, so it is expensive. You can join our support group call, which is also a great way, or you can submit a question for $5. So I really wanted this to be, open to every price point to be able to support you with herpes. So today is March 6th. It is almost 9 a.m. Pacific time. And I am going to be answering your anonymous questions live. So if you have a question right now, if you're like, Alexandra, will you answer my question, Alexandra? Go to the bit.ly/herpes live, and I will answer it for you. I'm going to put a few things up right here on my store because I'm excited. I need to do a video on this. Why is this not moving? Okay, got it. Add that. Okay. We have some products that are back in stock. So that's been really helpful. You know, when stuff's out of stock, that's not helpful. So my number one go-to herpes supplement is now back in stock. I just linked it for you. You should check it out if you are having nonstop outbreaks. Total side note, look at my hand. I got a blood blister. It really hurt. I got stuck in my son's, we have like a pool fence and I went to close it and it jammed me. And I'm going to put the link for you guys. Oops. bit.ly/herpes. Okay. I have the link right here, guys. If you want to submit your $5 question, if we have time to get to them today, I will get to them today. If not, we don't have time on this live, I will record it and send you your own personal video. For those of you that are like, wait, this is such a great idea. I love this. But I can't always be live at this time on Wednesdays. Not a problem. You'll get an email sent to you with the timestamp of this live. So I will repurpose this. I will put it on YouTube and I will send you the timestamp of the question and when I answered it. Again, the idea of this is to be able to answer your uncomfortable questions that you don't want someone on social media to know that you have. So that is why I'm doing that. Can I get some hearts? Can I get some hearts to welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm excited. Look at that, 500 people. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. All right, I'll get going with the stories and things like that. My name's Alexandra, founder of Life with Herpes. I was diagnosed with HSV-1 oral in 2003. I went on a date. My date kissed me. He had a cold sore. That was that. I was 20 years old, right? Totally normal. At 28 years old, I was dating a guy. And we, of course, had the talk. We had the whole conversation about it. And he had never been tested for herpes. He had been tested and everything else was negative, but he had never been tested for herpes. And so a couple weeks later, guess what Alexandra has? Blisters down there. And since 2011, I have been living with genital HSV-2 as well. So I've been living with both oral and genital. I am married. I have dated with herpes. I am married. I have a baby. I have a little boy. I had a vaginal birth. So that's just kind of my story. to give you some relevance. I know what it's like to have back-to-back outbreaks. I know what it's like to date. I know what it's like to disclose. I know what it's like to get rejected. I know what it's like to be accepted. I know what it's like to have your nervous system out of whack. I know what it's like to have poor nutrition. I know what it's like not to know what supplements to take and all that. So that is why I'm here, and that's why I'm speaking publicly about this. So welcome. All right, let me get to the questions right now that I have, the ones that I have right here. Okay, this one is from Michael. And guys, I don't use your real name, so you will supply me the name you want for this. So this is from Michael saying, I broke up with my girlfriend after learning about her herpes diagnosis. Now I regret my decision. We were dating for about 6 months. And then she had her first outbreak. How can I reapproach her or reconsider this? Okay, Michael, so thanks for happening. So for those of you that are like, wait, if you're in a relationship, how do you get herpes? Did she cheat, right? So a lot of you might be like, well, did she cheat? What was going on? It's really interesting. So herpes can be dormant in our system for a really long time. So you could have picked it up, let's say at 20 years old, and had your first outbreak at 25. I hear this time and time and time again of so many people that are in relationships, whether you're married, whether you're not, whether you're celibate and all of a sudden you get an outbreak, or in this case, like Michael said, like, hey, I was dating this girl and I just found out that she had herpes, so I broke up with her. So a couple of things. Number one is, was she cheating on you? That's a question I'm sure people watching this are wanting to know. That might have been a question that you talked about. And ask her. Just ask her. You know what I mean? Some of us might know, like, for sure, like, no, nothing's going on in a relationship. Other times you might be like, I don't know, right? I would ask her. I wouldn't jump to conclusion that she was cheating on you. Because again, you can have this and not know. So she may have never had an outbreak before and just gotten her first outbreak. Another thing for you, Michael, I would go and get tested. Do you have this as well? Maybe you gave it to her, right? Do you have it? Do you not have it? If you don't have it, then obviously it didn't come from you. My husband doesn't have herpes. I have herpes. We're able to make it work. We're able to prevent transmission to my husband. I would, before going back to your girlfriend, or I guess partner, whatever she is, friends with benefits, whatever. Something's disgusting. What's disgusting? I'd love to know it's disgusting. But before getting into that relationship, I would ask yourself, why did you back up? Why did you immediately break up with her? Is there something else going on in your relationship that you're like, hey, this was an easy out? Or were you just so overwhelmed and nervous that you didn't know what to do? Rejection happens for 3 reasons. Because 1, we're not mature enough to handle the conversation or handle the idea of even intimacy. 2, we have a deeply rooted belief that we're not able to change. So maybe there's a deep-rooted belief that somebody who has herpes is dirty and promiscuous, and you can't be with someone like that. Maybe that's your belief. I don't know. Or 3rd, you're not that into somebody. You're not that into the person. You're not willing to take a risk on a person. And I'm not saying herpes is a risk. There's a risk in anybody you date. And so you're like, is that the person I want to jump both feet in with? Like, do I want to like jump and hold hands and be with this person, right? So I'd ask yourself these questions. Are you like, hell yes, head over heels in love with this girl that you're like, I don't care that you have herpes, I want to be here? Or are you like, well, there were some other red flags in the relationship, I'm not quite sure, this might be the one that's like, maybe, right? You need to evaluate that first before you're in this like panic mode of like, oh, I don't know, should I have dropped her, should I not have dropped her, I'm freaking out, I don't know what I should do. You need to be centered first in your decision. You need to be rooted, and you need to be calm with your decision. After going through all that, and you're like, no, I really love this girl and I want to go forward with it. I realized it was my own insecurity. It was my own belief. I want to work through this. I want to be with her, which sounds like that's something you were mentioning. I would just sit down and talk to her and tell her these things. Say, gosh, whatever your name is, first of all, I'm so thankful that you told me that you have herpes. Thank you for opening up to me. This is something I haven't dealt with before. This is something I don't know what I'm doing, right? I freaked out. I got scared. And that's not acceptable. And I know in a partner, I know in a man, I know in a partner, you want someone that's going to be there for you. And I realized that I wasn't there for you. And that's my own insecurity and my own fault. I'm working on that. I found a resource. I'm working on that. I'm going through this. I'm hoping that you and I can sit down and reevaluate our relationship. I would like to be with you. I'd like to be your partner. Maybe this looks different. Maybe we take it slow. Maybe we reevaluate a lot of things. I think that's the type of conversation you should have with your girlfriend. And I think that's the type of conversation you should open up with and see where it goes. It's not just like you apologizing and she's like, yeah, okay, great, let's do it. She may be so crushed that she's like, you weren't there for me and I don't want this. I don't know, right? You're going to have to talk about it. Here's what I want you to realize is that it's going to play out the way it's meant to play out. Okay, I'm a big believer in that. And this is going to be a huge learning opportunity for you, Michael. This is going to be a huge opportunity for you to go, okay, this is how I handled it. I now realize I have some issues with intimacy, or I have some issues with this, or I have issues with trust, or I have issues with commitment, or I have whatever. And this is now an opportunity for me to work on myself. This is also an opportunity for me to learn more about herpes. How is this transmitted? If I'm not with her, someone else that I am with going to have it. How do I know? How do I prevent that? So those are just some things, Michael, if you're on here, definitely leave, if you want to, ask a question, because I want to make sure I answered it and got through this right. I'd also love to hear from people on the live. What did you think of that response from Michael? Who's somebody that's like, he's dating someone and just found out that she has herpes and he's freaking out. What would be your response? What would be your action? I'm going to read through the comments while I'm waiting to see you guys respond and just make sure I didn't miss anything other than somebody calling me disgusting. Hey, Felicia, thanks for the heart. I said someone testing negative. Should I get retested? If I test negative after 13 weeks, should I get tested again? If you're worried about it, yes. I'd ask your doctor, but 13 weeks, you should be good. Am I married? Yes, I am married. Okay, Shayla's saying you left a relationship because of your insecurities. This is exactly what I'm talking about with Michael's anonymous question. So thank you for opening up about that. That is something that we may like try to push it off on with someone else. Like, oh, it's because that person has herpes. And that was something I was really encouraging Michael to look at and say, are you the one with the issue, not her? Yes, she brought up the idea that you have herpes. That brought something to a head. It brought a conversation to a head. But maybe the issue really isn't herpes. Maybe the issue is something else. Guys, don't mind me. I have to put some lotion on. My hands are so dry. Is this your story or an example? This is an anonymous question that someone brought in. We're doing Herpes Anonymous. They're $5. Today is March 6th, 9 a.m. So I'm going to be doing anonymous questions every Wednesday. If you have a pressing question, please ask it. Okay. All right. I think this is a good live. Thanks, Vincent. All right. Let me get to the next question from Ashely. Hi, Ashely. Ashely says, I'm in a new relationship. Awesome. My new partner just disclosed their herpes diagnosis. How do I support them emotionally and navigate concerns I may have? I'm nervous about my own health and what to do. Okay, so hey, Ashely. First of all, is they a girl or a boy? I'm going to go with a guy, so I'm just going to assume that. I don't know why it's got a live violation. All right, so Ashely, sounds like you're dating someone, and he just disclosed to you his herpes diagnosis. Okay, Number one, okay, Ashely, this is really important. The fact that the guy that you're dating took the time to disclose to you is going to be key. All right. This shows integrity. This shows that he cares about you. This shows that he wants to set a solid foundation in order to have a relationship with you. I can't tell you how many people do not disclose. And the reason why people do not disclose their herpes status is because these people are not, they're dysregulated. They're either numbing with drugs and alcohol or other substances. These people are in a constant avoidance state. These people their nervous system is in an absolute dysregulated state. And so these people are not able to communicate and have this conversation. This right here says to me that this guy is somebody that truly cares about you. So number one, remember that. Number two, I want you to know how common herpes is. You didn't state if he has oral or genital or type 1 or type 2. So type 1, HSV1, 2 out of 3 people have. Okay, that's a lot of people. So Ashely, I want you to remember that if you don't have herpes, maybe you've been tested. So number one, go get tested. A lot of us are like, I don't have it. Go get tested. Okay, you may very well have it. 2 out of 3 people have it. If you don't have herpes, just know that the next person you're going to date has a very high chance of having herpes as well. This person just truly cares about you. This person cares about his sexual health. This person has gone and gotten tested and is having this conversation with you. So 2 out of 3 people have HSV1. 1 out of 6 have HSV2. So that's a lot of people. Roughly anybody you're going to come in contact with, that person has an 80% chance of having herpes. That's very, very, very high. Okay? So lots and lots of people have herpes. Most people don't know they have it. In fact, 90% of the people living with herpes down there will never be diagnosed. I'm going to say that again. 90% of the people living with herpes down there will never be diagnosed. Okay, I know when I was diagnosed, I was like, why don't more people talk about this? Why don't more people, like, I don't know anyone else that has this. No, I'm sure I do. They just haven't told me, right? So that's something I want you to think of. I'm just going back to your question, Ashely. I want to make sure I like. Okay. How do you support your partner and navigate any concerns you have? Okay. So it sounds like you want to be in a relationship with him. That's awesome. How do you navigate? I always like to open with communication. I think that you can't communicate enough, right? The more you can communicate, the better. So if you are able to talk to him and just say, like, let's talk about our sexual health, let's talk about a relationship. Maybe you haven't defined your relationship yet. Maybe you should define your relationship. Hey, I really want to be monogamous. Hey, let's talk about this. Hey, let's both of you go get tested, right? See if there's anything else. Take control of your own sexual health and take control of your future in that state. Just because he has herpes or just because you don't think you have anything doesn't mean that that's not the case. I would always recommend people get tested even though they're like, no, I just got tested. No, you need to go get tested together. Communicate. Ask him, how often do you get outbreaks? What do they feel like? What do they look like? Can I see one next time? Can you show me? I'd like to see what this looks like. Can you tell me a little bit about your symptoms? Can you tell me a little bit about your prodrome? The best thing that you can do, Ashely, for yourself is educate. The more you can educate yourself on what herpes is, the better off you're going to be in preventing herpes for yourself and also supporting your partner. So by watching this live, this is awesome. Also going to Life with Herpes and learning as much as you can on my website is going to be helpful as well. I have thousands of videos. I have hundreds of blog posts. Go check that out. So educate, communicate. There are ways to prevent transmission. If he wants to, if it's something that you both feel comfortable with, you can take the antiviral. That helps lessen the transmission rate by 48%. Now, it's something I don't use. I did in the past. I did when I was dating. I no longer use. My husband is okay with it. He's like, it's not a big deal anymore. But those are things that we can talk about. Supplements, okay? If it's HSV1 specifically, let's talk about supplements. Let me get them out. All right. Monolaurin, lysine, I have to get my bag of tricks out, you guys. Okay. I have everything out. That took a while. The one that I have that is pinned right now, specifically talking about herpes, is L-lysine. I talk about this a lot. So this is for people that have herpes that are trying to prevent transmission to their partner, and this is also for people that don't have herpes, okay? So if you have herpes, you're gonna want to look at taking lysine, okay? This is something that helps block the replication. This is something that helps prevent the HSV virus from replicating and going crazy. So this is going to be really, really, really helpful. This is the one that I take. This is the one that I live by. This is the one. It's just back in stock. I just got my pack. It's actually, my package is right over there. So this is the one that is a non-negotiable for me. That's pinned for you right there. The next thing that we like to talk about is monolaurin. Okay, so let me pin this. Monolaurin. Monolaurin is lauric acid. You're like, what's that? It's found in human breast milk. It's also found in coconuts. This one specifically comes from coconuts. It's not coming from mother's milk, okay? It helps dissolve the outer layer of an enveloped virus, helps break down the outer layer of an enveloped virus. That means that this helps when we have other viruses happening in our body. When we have other active viruses, this helps our immune system go in and penetrate it. So HSV is enveloped. HSV does have a case around it that our immune system cannot penetrate. So this is going to also specifically target HSV. All right, now this is going to be helpful. The next one, this is where I'm going to get to, Ashely, for someone that does not have herpes. This right here, if you do not have herpes, and your partner does, and you don't want to get herpes, has some research out there that says it'll help prevent transmission for HSV1, okay? I will do a video on this. I will find that paperwork. Right now, you just have to trust me. I'm not making claims. If you have questions, ask your doctor. I'm not saying this is going to prevent transmission 100%. I'm saying it helps, okay? This also helps me, someone that has herpes. I feel it's made a huge difference in my outbreaks in my prodrome. This is a very, very potent extract that is an immune support, okay? So that's what I'd recommend. Now, lastly, Ashely, is someone that does not have herpes. How do you prevent transmission? How do you work through a relationship like this? How can you consider this relationship? How can you address things that are your own health concerns? The stronger your immune system is, the less likely you're going to get herpes. Now, is that 100%? Is that like saying a seatbelt's going to always save your life? No, right? But the stronger your immune system is, the better chance your body has to fight off other infections and herpes. So we have the immune support. And what I really like about the immune support right here, hold on. I don't have it pinned. Let me get it, guys. What I love about the immune support is, let me show you all of the ingredients in here. It's sold out. Guys, it's sold out. I can't show it. It's sold out. Okay, well, when it comes back, I will do a video. Speaking of, we've been selling out a lot of, when I say we, it's not my company, but this company that I've been working with for the last 5 years has been selling out right and left because this shit is awesome, right? It's the best out there with integrity, with the ingredients and everything. What I like about the immune support, we have vitamin C, we have D, we have E, we have B6, B12, zinc, selenium, lysine, which we talked about. We have Asian ginseng, we have astragalus, echinacea, elderberry, garlic root, green tea, olive leaf, oregano. This is all going to be super helpful in boosting our immune system. So back to my bag of tricks and everything we talked about. For someone that has herpes, I would do lysine, monolaurin, and angiographisc. For someone that does not have herpes, I would do immune system boost, which is sold out. I'm sorry. I do immune system. I would do monolaurin, and I would do angiographisc. Okay, so these are really, really important. What you just joined is the immune support called company or connect. So it's all linked for you right here. It's also in my store. I don't know how to tell you to get there because you'd have to exit the live, but I do have it pinned right here. You can view it, or you can just go to my store after my live, and it's like right there. I don't know how else to tell you. Okay, Ashely, I feel like I've answered your questions. For those of you that are listening to Ashely's story, do you have any extra questions about this? Because this is also helpful for other people that may be in your similar situation. Is Palmera supplements FDA approved? No supplements are FDA approved. Do I have herpes? I do. I have HSV1 and HSV2. So no, they are not FDA approved. If you have questions, ask your doctor. Supplements are meant to supplement. That's the idea. They are minerals. They are nutrients. They are they're vitamins that are meant to supplement your diet. Okay, cool. Am I embarrassed? No. Am I embarrassed that I have herpes? I was embarrassed when I first got herpes. Yeah, I was embarrassed. I'm no longer embarrassed because I know how many people have it. I know how easy it is to get it. I know I've worked through it. I'm okay with who I am now. But yeah, embarrassed is a huge one. Guys, I just saw someone share it. Thank you. The purpose of me doing this, the purpose of me being here, the purpose of me sharing my life with herpes is so that other people don't have to go through what I went through when I was first diagnosed. I was in my 20s. I was scared. I was alone. I was embarrassed. I felt like my life would never go on. So thank you, and I appreciate that. Right now, for those of you that just joined, we're doing Herpes Anonymous. It's $5 a question. You guys submit your questions. I'm going to check and see if people have submitted questions while we're on the call. I don't want to miss anybody, and if we have time, we'll get to them. So let me just check. All right, I do have one that just came through. We'll answer yours, and then I'll get back to it. I love this one. Hey, Sarah. This one's from Sarah. Sarah, my partner and I are planning to have a baby, but I have herpes. What do I need to do? Can I even get pregnant? And how do I need to ensure that a safe pregnancy? I want to protect our child. I love pregnant questions. Oh my gosh. Congratulations. After becoming a mommy, I think that there's nothing better in the world, and bringing life into this world, there's nothing more incredible. So I'm really excited for you. Okay. Let me take a quick sip and I'll answer your question. While I'm doing that, I'm just going to tap the screen and say thank you for the people that are here. I can't tell you how much I appreciate you being here, spending your day with me, spending your morning with me, and learning about herpes. This is the number one thing you can do to support yourself and get you through your diagnosis. The more you educate, the better off. I've never stopped growing. I've never stopped learning. And there's always new ways to support your outbreaks. Like right now, I'm deep into sound healing. Right now, I'm deep into the nervous system. Right now, I'm deep into the gut health. There's so many ways that we can heal our bodies and support our lives. And that's why I'm bringing this to you, because I am so lit up about it. I'm so energized. I would be doing a disservice if I wasn't here. And I truly believe that. Okay. Alexa says, you're so thankful you never gotten herpes. That's awesome. I'm jealous of you, right? There's lots of people that are jealous. No, I'm actually not jealous. I'm jealous of people that never have outbreaks. That one I am jealous of, because I'm like, ugh, I have dealt with it. For people that don't have herpes, I would say that it changed my life, and I wouldn't go back to the way that my life was. So I'm thankful for that change that was forced in my life. And I think if we can learn to look at it that way, opposed to me being the bane of your existence and your life is over, that's what's going to happen. You think I'm lying? I'm not lying. I'm not lying. Okay. I just thought, why can't men be tested for HPV? Because HPV lives on a cervix, and men don't have cervixes. Women have cervixes. So can't scrape the cell of a cervix on a man because they don't have it. Okay. So back to Sarah, who wants to have a baby. Okay. This is awesome. So that was the first question I had when I was diagnosed, being on the phone with my doctor, driving in La Jolla, California, where I grew up. getting the phone call on just driving by the beach. And I said to her, and her name was Wendy. I'm like, hey, Dr. Wendy, will I be able to be a mom? And that was a big question for me. I was in the state of, oh my gosh, the self-loathing. What have I just done to myself? Have I just handicapped myself on purpose? Up until then, I had never been in a situation that was serious, and I had never been in a situation that like anything could be fixed. This couldn't be fixed. I now had herpes. I will have it for the rest of my life. And my biggest concern was, if I want to be a mom, will I be able to be a mom? So and of course she's like, oh, of course you can be a mom. This has nothing to do with it. Okay. So I want to answer that question, or take that pressure off anybody that is feeling the heavy weight of, can I be a mom? Can I be a dad? Yes, you can be a mom or a dad. Yes. What do you need to know going into it? Okay, here's the thing. If you're the mother with herpes, you're going to have to talk to your doctor about delivery. That's going to be the biggest thing. While the baby's in utero, the baby is completely safe. The baby is not going to come across HSV. HSV lives in our nervous system. HSV is skin-to-skin transmission. It's not a fluid-based transmission. So there's other viruses, there's other diseases, there's other things that can transfer to the baby through the umbilical cord. This is not one of them. There's other diseases that can be transferred fluid-based. This is not one of them. This is not a blood disease. This is something that the child cannot pick up in utero. The time that the child can pick this up is during delivery. Okay, so this is where you and your partner and your doctor, the three of you, need to get on the same page and decide that what's going to be best for you and baby, and decide what you feel most comfortable with. My husband, my doctor, and I all agreed that I could have a vaginal delivery. So I did. I took the antiviral about a month prior to my delivery in case I was going to deliver early, which I didn't. My son did not want to come out. But anyways, I didn't take the antiviral any other time during the pregnancy, only because I didn't want to take anything while I was pregnant. But that's going to be up to you and your doctor again. Okay, so you can decide that. But I want all these women to know that, yes, you could become a mommy. Do you have to have a C-section? No. Talk to your doctor and get on the same page. Find out the risks. Find out the consequences. Find out the statistics. See what your doctor feels comfortable. Ask your doctor, hey, do you deal with a lot of moms that have herpes? How do you deal with it? And I guarantee your doctor's going to say, why, yes, I do. I see it all the time. I've delivered hundreds of babies to mothers that have herpes, or thousands of babies. My doctor said he had delivered 10,000 babies, and he never once has a baby contracted HSV on his count, on his watch. So that's something that was really important to me. Ask these questions. Get comfortable. If you don't agree with your doctor, if you hear something you don't like, go interview another doctor. I know it's a pain. I know it's difficult. Maybe the insurance issues, whatever. But get on the same page to figure out what you want to do. So I'm excited for you. I'm excited for your baby. Definitely look at supplements that you can or cannot take. For example, we just talked a lot about supplements that I have pinned here for you. I didn't take them. There wasn't enough research out there for me to feel comfortable. Now, if I were to have a second pregnancy, what would I do? Like, would I go for sushi? Maybe, right? I still wouldn't have a glass of wine. That one, big no-no. But would I take lysine? Maybe. I don't know. I'm not in that situation. So I would just trust your doctor and trust your motherly instincts, because that'll happen. I'm so excited for you, Sarah. This is going to be such an amazing journey. For those of us that are watching right now that are parents, it's just going to be an amazing. To the next question, but let me just see what else has popped up. Alexis is saying, you think I should keep these things to myself. You know, so here's the thing, Alexis. I agree. I totally agree with you. I don't think you need to tell people you have herpes. There's no reason. Why would you do that? Why would you tell people you have herpes? There's no reason to tell people you have herpes unless you're going to expose that person to herpes. What I've decided to do is be an advocate. What I've decided to do is support people with it. What I've decided to do is create a community around it so that people don't ever feel bullied or hurt or like they're going to unalive themselves, like they are, and they're going to miss out on life. I don't want anyone to feel that way the way I did in 2011. So that's why I'm talking about this. But in my private life, no, I don't bring it up ever. When people ask me what I do, I say, oh, I have some online businesses, but first and foremost, I'm a mommy. So I don't ever bring this up in my personal life. It's just, why? Why would I go over to a play date and say, oh, I have herpes? Like, no, nobody needs to know that. So I totally agree with you. But what I don't want is the millions of people that have herpes to ever be alone. And so that's why I'm here. What can we do about our gut health? Great question. So gut health. I just had a guest speaker in our support group last Monday. So like Monday. And Coach Sarah Joy, talked all about gut health and vaginal gut health. Well, vaginal health, which is its own little ecosystem. If you are a member of the Secret Society, it's recorded, and I want you to hear this. There's so many things that you can do for gut health because that's where your immune system lies, and that's going to be a huge reason on why you're getting outbreaks or not getting outbreaks. If you're someone that's like, I don't understand why am I getting outbreaks all the time, it might very well be your gut health. So if you're not a member of Secret Society, I'd recommend joining, and I'm going to post that video and you can listen to it. So that's that. Are mouth cold sores HSV1? Can they be passed down? So yeah, cold sores are HSV, can be 1 or 2, and it can be passed down to someone's genitals by using your mouth on your partner. Okay. Reported bad info. Talk to your OB/GYN and or dermatologist for verified information. Great. Absolutely. I am not a doctor. I've never claimed to be a doctor. I've never claimed to show that there's cures or anything like that. So please, please, please talk to your doctor. I am here sharing my life. I'm sharing what I have done. I have shared what it is like to live with herpes. Thanks for sharing and making us not feel so alone. You're so welcome. Great job for sharing. Thank you. Why no wine? Oh, when you're pregnant. I wouldn't have wine when you're pregnant. That I just don't. There's so many. Why risk any like disabilities with your child? That's just me. It's my own personal thing. This is a herpes talk, so we'll get back to the herpes Q&A. Max said he's dating someone with herpes and you want to know more about the day-to-day. Like what happens if I get herpes? What would it be like to live with it? What should I be aware of? I want to support my partner, but if I get it, will this impact my life? Love this question. How many of you here are dating someone with herpes? Is anyone here dating someone with herpes and you're wondering about this? Or do most of you have herpes? I'm curious about that. Oops. I am going to, whoa, what just happened? Okay. I'm going to tap the screen again just to say thank you. Okay, I see questions about cures. I see questions about all of that, and I'll get that. I'll get that after Max. Okay, so Max is dating someone with herpes. I did talk a lot about that. I think this was actually Ashely. I talked about that. I talked about that with a little bit with Michael, talked a little bit, and I'll talk about that for you, Max. But definitely go back, listen to the other answers that I had. So you're dating someone with herpes. You're basically like, is it worth the risk? Like, should I get herpes? Here's what I'd want to ask yourself first. Is this person someone that you're absolutely crazy about? If you're not into her 1,000 million %, I wouldn't stay with her, herpes or not, right? Herpes makes it really easy to say, yeah, I like this person or I don't like this person. It T-balls it. It makes it so simple for people to reject you because they're like, ooh, I don't want anything to do with that, right? If you're not into the person, then you're going to say, I don't want to date you, right? Obviously, it makes it really easy. So I'm going to ask you, herpes related or not, are you 1,000% into this girl and do you want to be with her? If the answer is Yes. Then, here's what I can tell you about someone that's been living with herpes. Was I devastated when I got it? Yes. Was I in an anxiety state? Yes. Was I angry? Yes. Was I pissed off? Yes. Was I resentful? Yes. Was I embarrassed? Yes. Did I hate this person? Yes. Not gonna lie. Was I that person for a long time? Yes. I was that person for 2 years. I was dark. The light wasn't on. I was angry. I couldn't take criticism. All of that. I was awful. One of the reasons why I was that was because I didn't get the opportunity. I didn't get the choice. He didn't tell me. He didn't know he had it. Now I could go back a few steps and said, well, I always had a choice. I had the choice to say to him, I want you to get tested before I slept with you. I had that choice, but I didn't take it. So I was equally upset with him and equally upset with myself. Now, for you, sorry, enough about me. For you, Max, you have that option. Looks like I have a bat in the cave. Okay. You have that option. She has told you that she has herpes. You have that option to decide, do I want to be with her or do I not want to be with her? So I love that you're taking that vulnerability. I love that you're not being paralyzed with, oh my gosh, she has herpes. I want nothing to do with her. I love that you're like, okay, what do I do? Questions my husband had when we first started dating were, will this shorten my life? How does it impact me? And what happens if I get it? Does it shorten your life? No. How does it impact you? It's going to impact everybody a little bit different. Some people will have never get an outbreak. I have to sneeze. Excuse me. That was in your ear. I'm sorry. Some people will never get outbreaks. Majority of the people with herpes, genital herpes specifically, 90% will never be diagnosed. They don't know they have it. Okay? So you may be someone that never gets outbreaks. Or you might be someone that has nonstop outbreaks. You just don't know. I would say that there are ways to really work with your partner and prevent transmission. Number one, she could take the antiviral. Okay, that's going to help lower the transmission rate by 48% if she wants to. Number two, supplements. I talked about this a lot I think with Ashely. Yeah, supplements. You can take supplements to boost your immune system. This is the one I talk a lot about. It's sold out right now, so you can't order it. But the ones that we talked a lot about were angiographish, which is linked for you right now. This is going to be really helpful if you do not have herpes to prevent transmission to you. It's going to be very helpful. There's some studies out there that show this. So that would be great. Lysine, non-negotiable for someone that has herpes. Like, I don't know if you have herpes and are not taking this, I don't know what you're thinking, because this is going to be the best way to help you with your prodrome. Let me link that, guys. Let me pin it. Let me get the lingo right. Right here. It just came back in stock. It was sold out. If you have herpes and you're not taking this, I don't know what you're thinking. The next thing would be monolorn. This is going to help your immune system penetrate the virus. Okay? It disrupts the outer layer. Okay? So let me link that. Boop. Okay, that's that. Now, the last one that I would take, so we have monolorn and lysine sold separately. If you're like, hey, I like to take more lysine, my ratios are different, that's fine. If you're like, nah, my ratios are the same, I want the same with less swallows, you can take the monolora lysine combo, which has the same potency. It's just, it's like in less swallows. So back to Max, what should you be aware of? I feel like we've discussed it. The thing you'd have to be aware of is if this doesn't work out, you're going to have to disclose to a future partner. And how are you going to feel with having herpes? When my husband and I first started dating, he requested that I was on the antiviral. He's like, I just feel more comfortable with this. And I said, okay, great, no problem. And then a couple years into our relationship, I was like, I don't want to take this anymore. I don't want to take a prescription. I don't want it. I want to get off of it. Where do you stand? And so he was like, great, I feel good about it. So I would talk to her and see where she's at. Guys, for those of you that just joined, we're doing the HSV Anonymous. So people have sent their questions in. They're $5. We're doing anonymous questions here. If you have questions, you can send them in. We're doing it every Wednesday. These are your juicy questions. These are your uncomfortable questions. These are the questions that you're like, I don't want someone on social media to know that I have. These are the questions that are more than just what's HSV1, how do I get tested, and things like that. So that is what we're answering today. If you have questions like this, which I know you do, we'll be doing this next Wednesday. So you have the link. I pinned it for you. It's bit.ly/herpes live. And you can submit your $5 question. If I don't get to it, because as you can see, I've been on now for 41 minutes. If I don't get to your question, I will get to your question and I will send you a private video. For those of you that asked your questions and weren't able to make the live or I didn't get to your question or whatever, it'll be recorded. It'll be on YouTube. It will be time-stamped, and the location of your timestamp will be emailed to you as well. So lots of fun things. Guys, I am going to wrap it up. Thank you for joining me on this live. Thank you for the people who submitted your questions. I did not get to all of them. As you can see, we've been on here a very long time, so I didn't get a chance to get to all the questions. I am going to circle back and send you your own videos. And thanks for being here. I love what you said. Be open to being educated. This is very important. The right people will stay. Absolutely. Thank you. All right, guys. Someone just said, my sister has cold sores all the time and her husband's never gotten it. Yeah, I mean, it happens all the time. Maybe he has it and doesn't even know. Maybe he's never been tested. All right, friends, have an awesome day. Thank you. I feel blessed to be in your presence, and thanks for joining me. Bye.